Let me pull my screen up here and pull over number 2. There we go. All right, theme number 2. As I was trying to think about what I wanted to share today, I decided that what I wanted to do was talk to you about snowball blocks. Fun, right? And if you don't know what a snowball block is, I'll show you that here in a minute. But I want to share with you my little trick. Even if you've done snowball blocks before, I want to share a little trick with you that I learned years ago that has helped tremendously when it comes to doing a snowball block. And the reason why I decided to talk about snowball blocks today is because it's half yard bundle day. Woohoo! Half yard bundle day. It's the 20th of the month. And what that means is that every month on the 20th in the year 2020 is half yard bundle day, where we have a huge selection of half yard bundles, which mean there's 5 half yard cuts in a bundle, and for only $20, and they're normally $32.99, so it's a killer savings. It's like 40% off of your fabric. And every month on the 20th we also release a brand new pattern. Oh, better turn off my little alarm here. Don't know why that went off. All right, got that. Okay, so we release a brand new pattern that uses half yard bundles. Obviously you don't have to use this particular pattern for half yard bundles, but we like to give you lots of options, lots of ideas on what to do with half yard cuts. All right, so interesting. This is interesting. Roxana says no S word, you're jinxing us. And Betty Jo says not a big fan of the snowball block, they seem clunky to me. And Sue said, I find snowball blocks hard to do. Well, I am so excited to be able to share with you my little tip, and I hope it helps. So let me show you first of all, this is why I decided to talk about snowballs, because this is the new pattern released today called Snowball Fight. And it's pretty darn cute. It's pretty darn cute, I should say. Very simple to do. And there we go. There we go. You've got snowballs all throughout, and it's just a fun little easy pattern to do. This would be darling with Christmas fabrics, or any winter fabrics, anything you want. But today is half yard bundle day. So what is exactly a snowball block for people who might be unsure? It is this block right here. Okay, it's where you take a square and you're adding on the corners. All right, so what happens so often is that we know that to make a snowball block, you start out with a square and you add smaller squares to each of the corners. And you do that, there's several ways to do this. I'm going to show you one way today. One way to do it is by drawing a line, and you sew directly on the line and then you flip it back. All right, so let's take a look at what my little trick is here. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit and bring this computer down so that you can see it. And I'll take off my mask here to not get in the way. Okay, so now another way to do snowball blocks is by pre-cutting your pieces, and we've talked about that before as well. But today I'm going to talk to you about not pre-cutting your pieces and actually sewing the square onto the larger square. And what you do is you sew these at each corner, okay? But before you do that, you need to draw a line going from point to point all the way down, from corner to corner. Okay, just one line all the way down the middle. Okay, and I'll do another one here. Again, I'm lining up from corner to opposite corner, and I just draw a line, and I'll do the same with this one. Draw a line from corner to corner. Okay, Oh, whoops. I drew on the ruler, not on the fabric. There we go. Okay. So what often happens is this. We see this line and we sew directly on the line because that's what the pattern tells us, right? Well, my friends, has this ever happened to you? I pre-sewed this one, and I want to find out. You tell me in the comments, has this ever happened to you? You've taken it, you've sewn it directly on the line, you pull it back, and oh my goodness gracious, look, what do you see there? It doesn't pull all the way to the background fabric. That would drive me crazy for years because I would think, now what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I drew my line on, I sewed directly on the line, I pulled it back, and look, I'm seeing some of that background. Let's see, here was another one. I sewed directly on the line, and look at that. When I pull it back, uh-oh, it doesn't cover the entire piece. Why does that happen? Well, the trick to having a really good snowball block is that you do not sew directly on the line. Rather, you sew just a titch off of the line towards the corner. Okay, and it's just a titch. It's just a little tiny scant, almost less than a scant. It is the reason why we do that is because when we draw a line, that line can sometimes be fairly thick. And so if you were to go right down the center of that line, you are not giving yourself enough space to come up and over. So take a look at this one. Let's see, this is the one I did correctly. Well, the one that I did according to my little tip here is I sewed it directly on the line. I'm going to go over to the sewing machine here in a minute too. And now when you pull this over, look, there's no background there, is there? Because I have taken into account that space. Okay, so let me take you over to the sewing machine for a minute and show you again exactly what I mean here. Okay, so today I am working on the Janome 9450. All right, so I have my background block here. I have my smaller square hair that already has the line drawn on it. So again, oftentimes what a pattern will tell us is to sew directly on the line. I'm here to suggest that you don't sew directly on the line. Instead, you sew a titch off of it towards the corners. So I'm going to line this up like that. Okay, just kind of move it around. Bring this over here, and I will go ahead and begin sewing. And again, I'm just sewing a titch off of that line. Okay, and cut my threads. Let's take a look. You know what? I did not get it all the way. Let's see. Let's take a look. No, I didn't get it all the way. Let me see. Let me go back. This is what happens when that happens. Yep, this is why I got a little wonky in my sewing right here. And look, I went directly on the line, and actually I went a little bit over, and then I veered and went, oops, I better do that again. That's why this happens. This is what you should always do. If you have something that doesn't line up exactly correct, ask yourself, take a minute and say, now what happened? Where did I go wrong? So I'm going to try it again. So I would probably unpick that one, but I'm going to try another time. Let me see if I can be a little bit more careful this time. I think I'm trying to pay attention to questions at the same time. So I'm going to slow down my machine a little bit so I don't veer off. Okay. And again, I am sewing just a titch beyond the line. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. I got to speed up a little bit. Okay. Normally, if I was using my foot pedal, I'd be going a lot faster. Okay, there we go. Now I've sewn a titch off of the line. I'm going to pull it back. Oh, so much better. Let's see. I'll do a little finger press here. Okay, so much better. All right, so that is my tip. Now, what you should do afterwards is you should trim off the back. I'm going to show you another little cool trick too. So I'm just trimming up the back about 1/4 inch away from my seam line, and now I have reduced the bulk. I don't have any extra bulk here, no extra layers, and my snowball block is perfect. Now here's another little tip for you. If you are in the camp of you cannot stand wasting fabric, okay, I will tell you personally, for me, this would be too little. I would be like, I'm just going to throw that away. But I get it. I understand if you're thinking, no, Kris, I do not waste any fabric. That's totally okay. Because what you could also do, and I think I've talked about this before, but some of you may be new, is that you could actually, while at the same time as drawing your line from corner to corner, okay, I've drawn a line like that, I could move my ruler over by 1/2 inch towards my corner. Okay, and I'm going to show you this here in a minute. Do you see how I have, let's see, let's see. Okay, there we go. Do you see how I have 2 lines drawn there? I have the one from corner to corner, which is my snowball block. But if I sew on that line, whoops, this line, there we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, if I sew on this line and I sew on the other line again, I'm going to be able to get 2 out of 1, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to be able to get not only my snowball block, but I'm also going to be able to get a half square triangle. Okay, so let's take a look at how that works real quick. Okay, so I've got this over here. Bring this down again. Let's see. Okay, I'm lining this up. There we go. And I'm going to sew my snowball block. Again, I'm going just a titch off of the line. Make that a little bit faster. Okay. And if you were chain piecing, obviously this would be super fast, right? Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the second line. And that one I can go right on top of it. That one doesn't matter. Okay. Now what I have is 2, let's see, let me pull you back this way. I have 2 lines of stitching. And so what I'll do is I'll take that, cut it down the center, so that now I have not only my snowball block, look how beautiful that looks, but dun da da da, I have a cute tiny little bitty little half square triangle at the same time. There we go. Yay! All right. So there you have it. That is my little tip for today. Snowball blocks, stitch a little bit beyond the line, just a titch. And then if you want to do 2 at the same time, go ahead and do the half square triangle at the same time by drawing 2 lines. Okay? So there we go. What questions do we have? Barb says that's why her pumpkin blocks were a little bit off. Okay. Yeah, we did that in the club where we had our little pumpkin, our nine patch pumpkin blocks had they were snowball blocked on all 4 corners. So Barbara says, what is a folded corner ruler? Yes, if you have a folded corner ruler, and we sell that as well. That's from Doug Lico, and I love that one as well. But it's always nice to show lots of different ways to get the same result. So basically, I don't have the folded corner ruler with me right now. Also, if you have the, oh, what is it called? It's Karen Montgomery's trim. Sue, you probably can remember off the top of your head. Trim ruler, quick trim ruler. It also can do the same thing. So where you actually pre-cut it at a, let's see, at a 45-degree angle, you put on the square, you put on the background, you put the ruler there, the folded corner ruler, and it actually you trim it up first, and then you go to sew the rest of your block. So either way, okay. Yeah, Carrie says folded corner ruler is a game changer. I love it. Yeah, I love it. And then it also, you avoid having to draw lines. So it depends, it depends on what's more important to you. Like if drawing lines doesn't bug you, then, do this way. If you don't want to have to draw the lines, then a great way to go is with the folded corner ruler. So absolutely. All right. Let's see. Yep. Marilyn has a good suggestion. She said, I use a fine ball point pen or mechanical pencil because it makes a narrower line. Yes. And that would help as well. And I don't know, I still just kind of lean just a teensy bit, because if you think about it, even thread takes up space, right? So just a titch off. Just a titch. Is that a word? I don't know. It's a word for me. Just a titch. So, all right. Yay! Rika says, I'm going to try this tomorrow. Yay! All right. This is my nemesis. Fern. Okay. Good deal. I'm just quickly scanning through super fast. Yeah, a lot of you have had that happen to you. So, yeah, and Cindy's right. She shares that Snowball Block is a versatile block used in so many ways. Most definitely. Yep. We use it for a lot of things, not necessarily just like a snowball, but you use the same idea of a folded corner technique in lots of different blocks. So whenever you have a line that comes down the middle and has to go out, again, I use the tip of just going a titch off, and then you should be good. So, all right. Bridget says we will add that word to our Krisisms. Yes, definitely. Just a titch, just a little titch. All right. Let's see. Sue said it will be good for this new pattern. Absolutely. I agree. Okay. There we go. Sounds like some of you guys are doing some family genealogy on here. I'm reading through. Small world, right? Too funny. Yes, Sue said we need Jennifer Roycroft to show us the Deb Tucker corner pop ruler, and that also does the same thing. Yep, absolutely. All right, I love it. I love that you guys make connections with one another. There is nothing that makes me happier than seeing you making those connections. I just love it. In fact, Barb was talking to me about that very thing this morning. I asked her how the Christmas Club went yesterday, and she was just saying how fun it was that people were talking with one another, and they're on different sides of the country, and yet you guys are starting to get to know each other, and that just does my heart good. So I love it. Okay, Donna says, I can't find the pattern in the club. Donna, if it's not there, you can find it on our website, and when you log in with your into your account, it will be automatically free.